Hi, and welcome to the notes for commission, royalties, and piecework pay. So in the past couple lessons, we've looked at how people are paid. Normally, people get paid by the hourly rate or by salary, and so we've figured out those ones. But there are other ways that people can be paid, and that is through royalties, commission, and piecework pay. So the first one is instead of making money per hour or by salary, you can make money based on people using your products. So if you make something and someone else uses it, then you can receive a royalty payment based on that. So the biggest ones that you see are like musical artists. Musicians will write songs, and if those songs are used in movies, advertisements, commercials, anything like that, they can receive royalty checks for them using their songs in the movies or commercials or advertisements. Another big one is sports teams, like your Colts or Pacers. Those teams own the rights to their logos and colors and stuff like that. So if a t-shirt company wants to put the Colts logo on it or a Pacers logo on it, they would have to pay a percent of the sale as a royalty to that particular organization. So royalties are another way of being paid. The second one that you're probably familiar with is called commissions, and that is money that you make by selling things. So the commissions are all over the place. You can get commission from being a furniture salesman to a car salesman to a real estate agent to people who sell makeup products. You sell the product, and based on your sales, you get a percent of those sales. So the idea here is to incentivize the employee to sell as much as they can, because they get a piece of whatever they sell. And that's called commission. The last one, you're probably not familiar with the term pieceworker, but I know you are familiar with some jobs that are considered pieceworkers. Pieceworkers are people who get paid by completing some sort of product or service. So this could be anything like somebody who mows lawns. They would get paid after they're done mowing the lawn, not necessarily by the hour or a salary. It could be a babysitter, or it could be a painter, somebody who gets paid once they complete the painting of a house or something like that. They would get paid, and not necessarily by the hour or salary. Pieceworkers are all over the place. Mechanics would be pieceworkers. Handymen would be pieceworkers. People that get paid by doing something, not necessarily by the hour or as a salaried employee. Now, you don't need to know the definitions of these, but understand that in doing the math here, it's a little bit more complicated than just simply hourly pay or salary. So we're going to do a couple examples here, 3 examples to be exact. So the first one is all about royalties, and another big job that receives royalties is people who write books. It could be a fiction book, nonfiction book, or it could be a writer of a textbook. Whenever you write something, you're going to receive royalties if anybody uses it or buys it. So, for example, you have J.K. Rowling, who wrote textbooks. She's a billionaire, and she didn't make her billions off of writing the Harry Potter series. She made her billions off of royalties. When those books were turned into movies, she got a big chunk of whatever the sales were of the movie. But she also gets anything related to Harry Potter that's made. So it could be lunchboxes, shirts, it could be stickers and clothes, and anything that says Harry Potter or refers to Harry Potter, she's going to get a piece of that. So to figure out the royalty, this is pretty basic. Audra gets a 10% royalty on the total sales of the book. So if we take the cost of the book, $47.95, and the total number of copies sold, we can take those two numbers and we can multiply them to find the total sales of the book. Now remember that Audra gets 10% of that, so she is going to get a cut of that $815,150. By multiplying by the 10% or 0.10, we see that Audra gets $81,515 for her royalty check for that particular textbook. And as long as people keep buying that textbook, she'll keep getting 10% of the sales. Another one is by commission. Now, commissions can work a little bit differently to really incentivize the employee to sell. They may even make some sort of tiered commission percentages. So, like for example, here Allie sells vacuums and she gets paid commission. She makes 11% on the first $900 in sales. But if she sells and keeps selling and sells more than $900, she gets a bump of up to 17% for anything that she sells over $900. So that really incentivizes the employee to really get out there and sell. If they sell more, they get more of a percentage. So with these type of problems, we start with the total. Since she sold $1,250 worth of vacuums, and there are two different commission percentages here, we take the total. So starting with the $1,250, you're going to split it up into the two different pieces of the commission. So since she gets 11% of the first $900, you're going to split it into $900 and then whatever is left over. So since the total sales were $1,250 and she gets 11% of the first $900 and 17% of the balance, we have to figure out the rest. So $1,250, one part's $900, the other part is $350. And then you just multiply each one by the appropriate percentage. So 11% of the first 900 means you multiply by 11%, or 0.11. And the other one is 17%, so you multiply by 0.17. Multiply them, you get $99 and $59.50. Add them up, you get a total of $158.58 for the total commission. We'll do one more problem in the practice. So you'll scroll down to Mr. Corona, number 3 in the practice here. And it's the same thing. He sells magazines and makes commission. He receives 21% of his first $1,500 in sales and 14% of the balance of his sales. So we start with the total, $2,233 worth of magazine subscriptions. Start with that total. You're going to split it up. Since he makes 21% of his first $1,500, it'll first split off into $1,500, and then the balance of those sales would be whatever's left over, which in this case is $733. Then you multiply by 21% of the first $1,500, so 0.21, and the 14% of the balance, which is 0.14. Multiply them, you get $315, $102.62. Add them for a total of $417.62. So hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.